Welcome to Girl You Good. I'm Cassandra Pickett, licensed therapist turned clinic coach and speaker, helping high-achieving women lead their personal lives with the same clarity and confidence they bring everywhere else. Quick episodes, real talk, zero fluff. Let's get into it. So I had a moment this morning at my menopause specialist's office. Shout out to Aging with Power for anyone going through this. And it was such a textbook people-pleasing spiral that I had to bring it to the pod. Here's what happened. She and I were chatting and she asked if I'd gotten a coffee from the waiting room. I said no. She goes, "Oh, I was going to have some if you did, so we could sip and chat." And I'm like, "Sure, let's do it." So I make my way to the machine, grab myself a small decaf. And here's the thing. I was open to it, but my motivation was to go with her flow, make her feel valued. I wanted to match her vibe more than I wanted coffee from this Keurig machine. I noticed in the moment, I remember clocking that she had an empty cup in her hand. And, I got my coffee. She casually said like that she'd get some decaf too, and then we headed back to the exam room. We had a great appointment. I'm driving home and my brain goes full-blown code red. That is when I realized she never ended up getting any coffee. She walked back in with her empty cup and didn't fill it. So I'm like, wait, did I take the last decaf? Did I misunderstand her? Why didn't she get any coffee? Did she not get what she wanted because of me? Should I have asked again, offered her mine? Suddenly I was 47 layers deep into a spiral that had zero data to support it. It was like my brain pulled the fire alarm over a nonsense problem. That's what I call them. You know the kind. No one's actually upset. Nothing actually happened, but your nervous system acts like you caused a full-on crisis. And then I stopped. Literally out loud in the car, I said, nope, that's on her. If she wanted coffee in the building she owns, she could have gotten coffee. If she didn't speak up, that's not a code I have to crack. If there was a problem, she's a grown boss woman who can handle it. That, my friend, is what it looks like to change your pattern. Because this was not about coffee. This was about my brain, trained over years of hypervigilance, scanning for anything I might have done to make someone else uncomfortable. And before I started building awareness and capacity in this area, I would live in that headspace, obsess, apologize for nothing. I would text things like, LOL, hope that didn't sound weird earlier, or hope it was okay I got coffee when you mentioned it. Sound familiar? People pleasing isn't just about being nice. It's often high functioning codependency, hyper awareness of other people's emotions, and a default belief that their discomfort is your fault or equals a problem for you to solve, or just their perceived discomfort. It doesn't even have to be actually there. Let me pause and say, if this is resonating with you, the high functioning codependency, and you want to go deeper on it, Terry Cole's work is a great resource, and I will link her in the show notes for you. But for now, back to the coffee moment. Here is the shift. This is what I said in the car. This is what I tell myself in my mind. This is what I'll say out loud. This is the mantra. I am not that powerful. And she is not that helpless. I am not that powerful, and she is not that helpless. I control me, they control them. If you identify as a people pleaser, regardless of the root causes of trauma or patterns behind it, here's what you can start doing today to loosen its grip. First, notice when it's happening. When your brain starts swirling with, did I offend her? Or was that weird? Just pause and observe. Ask yourself, do I have actual data or just a vibe? If it's just a feeling with no facts behind it, it might be a nonsense problem. Say it out loud. That's on her, or that's on them, or that's on him. Not with judgment, but with clarity. If someone has a need, they can speak up. You are not responsible for managing the unspoken feelings of every human you interact with. That's on them. Stop over helping when you're not qualified, not invited, and not responsible. Say it again, write it down, tattoo it if you must. Because every time you interrupt that old pattern, even once, you're building new data in your brain that you don't have to activate your nervous system just to soothe imaginary conflict. And that is how capacity grows. So the next time your brain tries to launch a nonsense problem into a full-blown anxiety mission, try this. Breathe, say, nope, that's on her, and move on. And if one of your beloved besties or friends in your life has this going on, and you're looking over there like, girl, you good? Share this episode. Let her know the mantra. Let her know we're not into the people pleasing. We are moving forward with, I am not that powerful. They are not that helpless. I control me. They control them. Thanks for listening to Girl You Good with Cassandra Pickett. If this episode made you laugh, cringe, or breathe a little deeper, you're my kind of people. Share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and I'll see you next time.